In a previous video, we done an unboxing of the Cooler Master CMStorm Trooper full ATX case. In this video, we're going to take a tour. The Trooper offers a steel frame with steel side panels, has a acrylic viewing window on the left side, and has some ventilation on each side. The front features a stack of mesh inserts. The mesh inserts can be easily removed and replaced. To remove the insert, apply pressure to the tabs on each side and pull. To replace the insert, apply pressure and push and it'll snap in. Let's start by removing all the inserts and the side panel and the other side panel so we can see the inside. Got a nice CMStorm logo here, and this does have a protective film on top so it won't get scratched. But to open this, put your finger on each side and there's some spring-loaded clamps. You pull it open and there's a tray underneath. Now the tray, I assume for shipping purposes, has a small screw in each side that will need to be removed before we can remove the tray. I've removed the screws and the tray comes out easily. Each side panel removes in the same way. We have a thumb screw on top and a thumb screw on bottom. Loosen those thumb screws. And the panel can be slid backwards and tilted away. With the front covers removed, we can see how open this case is. These racks can be slid out via these thumb screws. There's one on each side for each rack. And they can be rotated around so that the fans can have good air flow through the case, which is what I plan on doing. Let's look at the top. The main case panel features a large lit power button, lighting control, reduce fan speed, increase fan speed, a reset button, eSATA connection, USB 3.0, USB 2.0, microphone jack, a headphone jack, hard drive LED, and a power LED. This is a hot swap SSD. Taking a look at the interior of the case, we have our two fans here, which I said I was going to rotate those around. We have our case cable connections. Have a 2.5 inch drive rack. A large area to work in. Have a cutout for our motherboard. Looking at the back of the case, we have a cutout for a power supply, 9 expansion slots. We have a locking mechanism in case you want to lock your peripherals down. Back of the fan, have a small diameter water cooler hole and 2 larger diameter water cooler holes. And this is for the motherboard panel. At the top of the back of the case, you can see we have a handy handle for picking the case up, and we have a slide out air filter. You can remove it by lifting up just a little and pulling it out. On the right side interior, we can see we have a plate for the motherboard to attach to, and it's recessed into the case about the width of my finger, so we can get all of our cables routed to where it needs to go. We have grommeted openings, have plenty of cable tie locations, a large grommeted opening down at the bottom. We have the other side of our drive racks, which we're going to rotate. We have some access to the top part of the front panel for some cable routing. Looking at the bottom of the case, we can see we have a large filter and a smaller filter. Both of these can be removed and cleaned and put back. To remove it, pull down a little and slide out. and you can slide it back in. This one's a little harder to remove than the big one. One negative I say about the case is the feet are not very tall. I would like to see a little more extension on the feet to give a little more airflow. Even on a hard surface like a wooden floor, there's not a whole lot of space between the bottom of the filter and the floor. And if you're on carpet, especially thick carpet, you won't get hardly any airflow. So I would like to see a little more depth on the feet. I can always prop this up on something so that it does get more airflow, and I most likely will. Finish out the case tour by looking at the top. It's nicely vented on each side and around down the back. It has a trooper insignia just behind the handle. It has a very sturdy handle, and it's kind of a smooth, almost a rubber-like plastic. Just a tiny bit of a rubber-like feel. Overall, this is a quality case that has a good foundation for any PC gamer build. Thanks for watching.